Hi, this is Adelaide, and my mom has crocheted this doll for my school's gala. It's going to be donated to the school, and my mom has crocheted the hair and sewn it on, and she's going to show you how to make some curls at the back.
Hi, this is Lisa with Holland Designs Crochet. I'm really excited today to share with you some beautiful new dolls. These are the Gala Dolls, and it's a variation of a pattern I designed a year ago called the Waldorf Inspired Dolls. So I'm going to update that pattern to include the new variation and create an ebook. So anyone who purchased the original Waldorf Inspired Dolls pattern, I will automatically send them the new updated ebook. So that will include the doll pattern, the outfits that came with the original doll, and that is there's scarves, hats, cardigans, dresses. The original doll was a dress-up doll, so the Gala dolls, I've designed those to be a little bit quicker to make, so they don't actually, the clothing does not come off. So basically the body, part of the body is the dress, and then obviously there's a skirt, and these also have cute little bloomers that are part of the doll, which I think are really sweet. So I'll show you some more close-up details in a moment, and I'll also show you a tutorial in a moment also of how to create the ringlets on the doll. So the hairstyle is different. You can see it has a crown at the front, which is slightly slanted. The hairstyle is a bit of a side part, and it has some ribbing also that makes it look like a 1920s pin waves hairstyle, a bit of an old Hollywood glam, old-fashioned look. And that hair is all crocheted, so there's no worries about the hair coming off or coming out, as you might experience sometimes if you had just strands of yarn that were being sewn to the head. Instead, it's completely crocheted. And so I'll show you exactly how the ringlets are made. And the collection that I'm showing you includes quite a few samples, and basically all these samples are being donated to our local school fundraiser. And in New Zealand, they often have what is called a school carnival or a school gala, and it is put on by usually the PTA and those involved with the school, some of the community members and the parents, and of course the children help out as well, which is quite nice. Everyone gets together. And the carnival is set up on a school grounds in the hall or outside, and there are tents with baked goods that can be purchased, so a cake stall, and all the families, of course, contribute home baking, which is something I know unique in New Zealand that maybe isn't done other places. So that's what we are going to be doing. I think tonight they're sending home some paper plates, and we're going to send back some baking for them to sell at the school. And also they have other stalls, like, for instance, a craft stall, and also sometimes what they term a white elephant, which is obviously a rummage sale. So that was a term that was unique to me. As an American, I did not know what a white elephant was, so I actually looked it up and got a bit of an education on the history of that term. And so the local school gala is happening this weekend, so I'm donating 4 dolls and 3 cardigans and 3 blanket samples. I think I also have some slippers that I'm sending down. And so I've just put my business cards on them with the details of what the item is and what it's made from, that kind of thing. But I'm not putting any pricing on it, so it's just at the school's discretion what they choose to sell the items for. So hopefully they'll benefit the school and also whoever is fortunate enough to get one of these samples. The cardigans on display here, I have the raglan cable baby cardigan, also the long line baby cardigan, which is a beautiful lacy design, the twisted lace afghan or baby blanket in the lavender, and 2 of my most recent afghans, the modern Jacob's ladder, which is the green and white squares, and then the C2C or corner to corner Jacob's ladder afghan. So all of these samples, which I've recently designed, are going to be donated to the school. And of course, a lot of effort and time has gone into creating these items, but I really am so blessed and so fortunate that as a crochet pattern designer, I can create beautiful items, which I enjoy doing, and I can sell the patterns affordably, hopefully, to those who enjoy also crafting. And then the samples can just be donated to the school. So I haven't haven't lost anything or haven't spent, you know, a lot of money and time to create these. I've already received the benefit of creating basically intellectual property that I can then share with the world, and the samples can be donated to the school. So that is just a really neat way to contribute, I think. The little flowers that you see on the doll's hair, that is a recent pattern as well, the wedding flower demo that I did. That's a free pattern, so I will also link to that in the ebook and also in the description here, so that you can actually make those flowers that are really cute to embellish the hair on these dolls. So we'll go ahead and get into the tutorial to demonstrate how the hair is done. These are my beautiful sample dolls. You can see I've made them in different hair colors, different hair lengths. So this is the longest hairstyle here. A little bit more of a close-up look at that. And then this was the one I made that had a little bit of a shorter hairstyle. And they're all very sweet. And so we are making now a brunette. And so I loved this shiny soft yarn that I found, but they did not have a brunette or brown color in that yarn. So I'm just using another acrylic 8-ply DK weight yarn. It's not quite as shiny, but it still works just as nicely. So I will demonstrate for you how we do the ringlets on the dolls. And so, as I had mentioned earlier, the crown of the hair is crocheted in rounds, and then we work in rows of ribbing to create the rest of the hair. And then it is simply pinned in place to the head, positioning it as you'd like it. And I did it slanted to the side. And then once the hair has been completely sewn on with a yarn needle and whip stitch, then we go ahead and make the ringlets. And so I've made most of them. You can see I still have a few inches left here to complete. And so I am at the point now where I have a long strand of loops, which is the hair that I'm creating. And so the length of the hair is basically going to be half of whatever length I make as far as the number of loops. So because this will end up getting joined to the back of the head, so it ends up becoming half the length. So you can definitely make these as long as you'd like them. And so all I'm going to do now, since I've created I'm doing 10 loops this time, I'm going to simply slip stitch in the next stitch at the back of the head. So you either work into the stitches or around the stitches, depending on how you want to join them. And then once I've joined my loop, then I'm going to continue with my next loop, and I simply slip stitch in the next stitch at the back of the head. Okay, so I've done that. And now to actually create the ringlet, I'm doing chain 3, and then double crochet into the third chain from the hook to create a large loop. You can see how that's been done. And you just repeat that process, chain 3 and double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So I've got 2 loops. Repeat that until you have the length that you want for the hair. So for the sample here, I'm doing 10 loops. So I'll just repeat that. So I've got my third one. My fourth loop. Number 5. So I'll just continue doing that. And I find that this is a very beautiful ringlet and hairstyle, crocheted hairstyle to do. I find it goes a lot more quickly than some other crocheted curls. Perhaps if you've made dolls before, there is another type of crochet technique where you would work a long chain and then work perhaps 3 single crochet in each chain across to create a spiral type curl. So I've seen that done before on crocheted dolls with crocheted hair. But I really do love this particular hairstyle that I've been using the last few years. So I just count to see how many loops I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just one more to do. Okay, so once I've finished my strand, again, I'm just going to join it at the back of the neck and by working into the edge of the hairline. with a slip stitch join, and then work into the very next stitch with a slip stitch join to move my hook over to begin the new curl. And so you just basically do that all the way across the back of the hair, and it just creates beautiful ringlets. And I'll show you on the blonde doll more closely, since sometimes it's easier to see in the lighter color, how these ringlets, especially with this particular yarn, it's so soft, and it actually, the curls basically spiral up on each other or curl up on each other, similar to how a normal hair would. And it's just beautiful.